37. I'm 38 this year.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, never have a beard, but when I have a beard, I reckon 38. But when I shave it off, I look about 22. No, yeah.
I wouldn't think you're 38, eh?
Yeah, no. I don't act it, but yeah.
Fuck.
So, yeah, no, it should be good. There's a lot of things on for indoor this year with the World Cup being on in Sri Lanka and all that. So that's the reason why I'm still playing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Your chance of...
Yeah, well, I just got back from the Gold Coast in October playing for NZ against Aussie in 7 tests.
Oh, shit.
So that was pretty good.
Okay, that's sweet.
It was fun. So.
Is there any funding behind it?
No, so there's a big, you know Mark Sini?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a big thing about that. So New Zealand doesn't get funding from anywhere now.
So you just got to pay all your flights?
Yeah, so to go to Aussie last year was $4,000.
Shit.
And to go to Sri Lanka, it's going to be, I think, $5,500.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Is that a World Cup?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so a lot of money, and that's just that. So obviously we got our trials up in Auckland, so you got to pay for that, and then we got provincials down here, so that should be a bit cheaper. Then got nationals in Wellington. I still play for Rocket, which is Hamilton, so I'll go back for Queen's birthday and play in that as well. So a lot of money to be spent this year on indoor cricket.
Shit. Yeah, it is a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Did I push record on that? I did. Fuck yeah, that just would build up so quickly, those costs.
Yeah, like we do fundraising through the year, but I don't know how it's going to work down here. So the club back in Auckland that I play for, or Hamilton, do like 3 fundraisers a year. And last year I think we made like $1,200 each person.
Yeah.
So that did help. But yeah, otherwise you got to fork everything up yourself.
So how long have you played for New Zealand for?
So I'm over 35. That was my second time. On my first time, just gone. I've made New Zealand men's sides in the past, but money wise, it's just been nah. I can't afford to do it. And to be honest, I said last year I was like, nah, I'm gonna put the money towards it and actually go. And being over there with the boys and just in that environment just made me like, nah, I'm definitely gonna go to Sri Lanka. I loved it.
Yeah.
So it was good.
It's a different sport altogether.
Way different sport. Like there's guys that you see in outdoor that can't hold a stick, and then indoor guns.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah. How hard is it adapting your game from indoor to outdoor?
See, I don't find it any different. Like obviously when you're batting, you just got to play the ball later, just to like bang it up over their head. Bowling, I'm not a bowler, so I can't really answer that one. But fielding wise, it obviously gets you. Yeah, I think it helps with your fielding. Yeah. Your reactions and all that sort of thing. You don't play?
I did, and I stopped after high school. Yeah. I think we won like 3 South Island champs in a row. Yeah. And then just basically never played again.
Yeah. Don't like it, or you just?
No, I do. It's fucking expensive. Like even just to play like one game a week's fucking expensive. How much is it these days?
Well, see, I've only just started playing once a week. I think it's $12.
Oh, that's not too bad.
But if you're playing like 3 games a week, that's like really close to getting up there to like $50. So yeah, exactly. It's not cheap.
Fuck yeah. So how many boys go on tour for World Cups and things like that?
So last year when we went to Aussie, I think we took 12. One guy went who was injured already, so he only played the last game. But yeah, normally 12. I'm not sure. It'll probably be the same for Sri Lanka. Yeah. Provincials this year, which is in Christchurch, I think we're only taking 10. But obviously if someone gets injured, we're in Canterbury, so just call someone up. Yeah. But our Canterbury side, like, you probably know most of the boys. Most of the boys play outdoor. Right. Yeah, like Curtis Millard and obviously Mitch Gardner and Tom Agnew and all that are in there. So. Oh yeah.
Is there any money in indoor anywhere in the world? Like, is it big in India at all? Or?
Mate, there's nothing. I don't think.
Nothing.
Like they got the Club World Series that has just started up. So a few of the boys are going to play in that. It's the Barbarian squad, which is the New Zealand squad. Well, it's not a New Zealand squad, New Zealand team. I don't even think there's money to be won in that. I'm not sure. No, I have no idea. But I got told that they might bring indoor cricket into the Commonwealth Games or something. Apparently, it used to be.
Really?
Did you know?
No idea.
Okay, I don't know if it was in the Olympics, but I think indoor cricket was in the Commonwealth Games once back in the day.
Right.
But you obviously kind of done too well because it's not there anymore. But
yeah, it must be tough playing sports that aren't funded, even like being like Olympic athletes and stuff.
Yeah, you've got to fund that stuff yourself, eh? Well, I was watching the news the other day. Apparently, they're starting to get paid. Some athletes are starting to get paid now, or like the high jumpers or something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
And always played cricket as well?
Yeah, so outdoors obviously been my number one sport my whole life. Loved it. Obviously ruined things myself back in the day. I got a lot of regrets with outdoor that I just... Obviously when you turn 18 and cricket was... Before 18, cricket was I breathed cricket. But as soon as you turn 18, or myself anyway, you just want to go clubbing and drinking and women, and that was... Not my downfall, just stopped. Just lost. Didn't have the passion like I should have, and I should have just a lot of regrets.
Right. Did you play any age group stuff growing up?
Yeah, so I was always ND, Northern Districts age groups from under 14s, 15s, 17s, 19s, and then when I was 22, I got selected to play for NDA, and that's when it all went downhill for me. I think so. The night before I was meant to play, I went out, punched a brick wall and fractured my hand. Didn't even ring the coach or tell anyone that I wasn't playing, just didn't turn up, and that was me pretty much. So then after that, my mate Tiahu Davis, who's played for the Knights, he was in Aussie, so I ended up going to Aussie playing there, so I was there for 5 years. 5 years back and forth from Aussie to England, like different parts of Aussie, just playing cricket. So I still travelled around playing cricket, just not what I could have been doing if I focused more and just wasn't an idiot when I was younger.
So after that one time of you not showing up, was there any communication between?
Nah, nothing. I knew then, even before then, so I remember at our under-19 tournament in Lincoln, there was no going out curfew, you can't go out, and there was about 5 of us, snuck out one night, got smashed, came back, got caught. I think one of the boys got sent home, and the rest of us had to do dishes and everything for everyone. My name wasn't
And sort of prior to that, had there been conversations about your development in Northern and? Yeah,
it's funny. So no one, not up here would know. So I was originally a leg spin bowler. Right. Growing up from the age of 10, all I bowled was leg spin. And even until the age of 18, that's how I was making all the teams as a leg spin bowler. I remember when I was 13, I got invited to this spin bowling clinic. Terry Jenner, you know Terry Jenner?
No.
So Shane Warne's, I played Test cricket for Australia, Shane Warne's coach. He came over and he was having a clinic there. So I was 13 at the time, and the rest of the guys that were there were 19, 20, 21. So I got invited to that, and so that was, being 13, being around older guys, I just remember the way I used to bowl, and so when I say I regret a lot with my cricket, it was the bowling that could have taken me a long way. It's hard to bowl leg spin.
Yeah.
I can't try bowl leg spin the nets now. I can't land it at all. But leg spin was my main thing.
And what age did that fall away?
Oh, maybe 18, I think. But I remember bowling in the game and bowled a couple of double bounces and a few beamers over the bowler's head. Batsman's head, and I'm like, nah, I'm done. Got the yips.
Just got the yips, yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not doing this anymore. So then I've always been able to bat. I just, my focus was mainly just bowling.
Yeah.
So every time now, when I'm back in Auckland, everyone's they start telling me stories about it, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I know what I could have done, but I just ruined it myself.
That's tough, eh? Yeah. Is that still sort of play on the mind a bit?
All the time. Yeah. All the time. Everyone I've seen that has played for New Zealand and stuff, are guys I've played with and against, and I'm sitting and watching them. I'm like, I could have been there too, but oh well. Live and you learn. I've learned now. I wish I could go back to when I was 16 and I would do things so much differently.
Yeah, fuck, that'd be nice to.
Yeah. But
that would do so.
Yeah, but as I said, I've still been to England, Scotland, pretty much lived everywhere in Australia playing cricket there. And good standard too. I played a season in Darwin, and that was real good cricket. But then again, I was there when I was 23, and I don't know if you've ever been to Darwin.
No.
I got just caught up in the nightlife and everything. I wasn't going to trainings, and then I got dropped to the twos, and I was like, nah, I'm not playing twos. But then looking back now, it was my own fault. Like I wasn't going to trainings, I wasn't doing what I should have been, and yeah.
Any desire to play like over 40s World Cups and stuff like that then?
I see that now. Like I say no now, but who knows? I don't know. Like after going to Aussie for indoor, that my passion was with indoor. But then after playing, because I wasn't even going to play outdoor this year. But then after playing outdoor this year, I'm like, I'm keen as to play again, and yeah, I don't know.
How was the season with the Maryvale boys?
Yeah, see, it's funny how I ended up there, to be honest. So I got back from Aussie. I was in Auckland. My lease ran out of my apartment, and my dad and my brother lived here, so I was like, I'll go to Christchurch. And I am a shy person. People will laugh when I say this, but I'm a shy person. And I was going to go to Sydenham, because I know most of the boys from indoor there. And then I'm like, nah, I'm too shy to go down there. Nah, I'm not going to go. And then one of the boys from our club, who was an umpire in Oz, he's like, Fausty, want to come to Maryvale? And I was like, trying to make every excuse under the sun not to go. I was like, I got no gear, I got nothing. He's like, that's all right. So he gave me Lingy's number. Lingy rings me. He's like, do you want to play? I'm like, oh mate, I am, but I got no gear. And he's like, that's all right. I own a cricket shop. I got your gear. And I was like, okay. So I went and got gear, and it was funny. Like the first training session I went to, it was an open wicket, and I was literally worse than Chris Martin. And all the boys looking at me, and in my head, I'm like, these guys are like, who the fuck have we got here? Like this guy can't bat at all. And yeah, but it was alright. Like I enjoyed it. Like the boys, it's probably the best bunch of blokes I've ever played cricket with. Like obviously we weren't that well, didn't do that good on the field, and we'd go in the change rooms, and everyone would be sad for 5 minutes, and then someone would just say something stupid or do something stupid, and then we forgot about cricket. We're all just enjoying each other's company. So
yeah,
and yeah, it was good.
That's what you need in cricket as well, because it's a fucking long, long, shitty sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it quite easy to move on after a loss pretty quick. Otherwise, I would just like in the past just sat on it for like the whole week.
100%. Yeah. And other teams I've played for, like other clubs I've played for, like the boys are that down. Like they won't say goodbye. They'll just 5 minutes, put the gear together, and all go. And I used to be like that too, but now I love being around the Maryvale boys. So.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing with cricket, is just enjoying being around the team, and the cricket's a bonus, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Because otherwise, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. And even being my age now, like I struggle fielding all day, like running after the balls, getting cramps, and I hate it. But batting wise, I don't mind batting all day, but fielding that.
Yeah. No. So what else? What's your life story?
Oh mate, we'll be here for fucking 5 days if I.
Like, I mean, you typically don't look like a typical cricketer.
I get that all the time, mate. Like when I tell people I play cricket, they're like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "Yeah, I do," and I know, like, I don't know. I've done a lot. I've been in trouble a lot. I've come away from all that life into a different, if you knew my life story, I've been from the bottom of the bottom a lot, but the last 3 years that's all in the past now.
And that's awesome. Like, so what is the lowest of the low, and how did you get from there to where you are now?
I think, honestly, mate, in the past, it's always been myself. Like, I've always blamed others. I've always made excuses for stuff. When really, when I look back now, it was my own doing, like, all the time. So I've got into this place because of myself, not because of anyone else, but I always blamed everyone else. It got to a point, like, 2 years ago, I think I was just hanging around the wrong people, and I could have gone down that path, could have gone down this path, which wasn't a very good one, or I could have gone to the way I am now. And I think it started when I got a Christian workmate, and all he did was preach God to me, and I hated it, mate. Like, I couldn't stand being around him at all. I don't want to hear anything like that. Then, like, 2 months later, I went to get my apartment in Auckland, and it was a Christian family that owned the apartment, and then I went back to their house to sign the papers, and then, so I was actually there for like 6 hours, so all they did was preach God to me, and all that, and I'm glad I went down this way. So I'm a reborn Christian now, and I was going to church and doing all that when I was in Auckland. Fallen away since I've been in Christchurch, but so I'm a believer. Always been a believer, just never really been a church person.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I've these people came into my life. Otherwise, yeah, the way I was going wasn't very good. Yeah.
And what about like Christianity? Is it that sort of has led you down that path?
The path I'm on now, yeah, as I said, like, if you want to go into details, like, so when I was in Wellington, I was hanging around the mob a lot. And when I say this to people, I never done anything bad at all. Like, they just made me feel a part of them, like a family. Like, I was literally on my own, mate. Like, felt like I had no one. And I was always, just in my own thoughts and whatever. Met them, and yeah, they just made me feel like a family. But obviously, it got to the point where they're like, well, we want you to join now. Let's go. And I wanted to, and then I'm so glad and thankful that these people that I met, the Christian people that I met, took me away pretty much from that. Not they didn't take me away. I never told them what I was up to and stuff. But yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think people are always looking for like community, right?
Yeah.
And like, if something like the mob or something is the first community you're exposed to, and it feels like a family, like of course that's gonna look appealing.
Yeah.
And then I guess it's only till you get introduced to other forms of community, and I think that's why sports so good as well. Yeah. Like it gives people a sense of community and similar-minded people to be around.
Yeah.
But like obviously, for you to be able to like recognize that your mistakes of your past were your own doing, and then to make changes, that's fucking empowering. And that's sort of like stories that I want to hear people tell. Is like the dark places I've come from to moving in like a more positive direction.
Yeah. Well, being 35, I'm like, 35 2 years ago. So I was like, okay, Richie, you're gonna go down this path. You're 35 years old. Do you really want to be going to prison? Do you really want to be doing this sort of thing? No, I don't. So that's why I was like, never fully committed to them. I was always, I never said no, but I never said yes. So I'm glad, I'm thankful that I didn't go down that path. Because once you're in that sort of thing, there's no way of getting out, really. So.
No, and it's, I'd never, obviously this is the first time I've spoken to you, and I honestly didn't know what to expect getting on here, and you obviously seem very humble and well-rounded, so.
It's funny because people look at me and before they even speak to me, they just assume the worst. And that's everyone. Until they speak to me and get to know me a little bit, then they're like, okay, well, you're not really what I thought you would be like. Yeah.
And I think that's just something like inherently built in. Yeah. Like you see someone with like tattoos on your face and you're like, okay, that's not something you see every day. I'll be on edge a little bit, but I think that's like, it's a classic of not judging a book by its cover and things like that. But when did you start getting tattoos on the face?
Oh mate, on my face. I think I just got caught up in the Gold Coast life too much. Like, have you been to the Gold Coast?
Only a couple of times.
Mate, so I lived there. I was there for about 3 years, and every single person had face tattoos, and I had none. Obviously, if you got face tats, neck tats, hand tats, it's impossible to get into any clubs, anything in the Gold Coast. And I just thought, well, no, just like everyone's got one, so I'll just get them. Do I regret them? No. Has it stopped me from getting jobs or whatever in the past? No, because obviously with the work I do, it's irrelevant if you got tattoos or not. And to be honest, I used to care what people thought. Like, it would affect me a lot. But now I couldn't care at all what people think. You can think what you want about me, it doesn't affect me at all. Yeah. Tattoos don't make a person. It's what's inside. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, and it's such a good skill to have is to not care what people think based on your appearance. Like as long as you're a good person,
exactly. Yeah.
And you're not harming people, like it doesn't really matter. Do any of them have any meaning or?
Yeah, so I've got so this is my son. I've got an 8-year-old son, so that's his initial and his date of birth and Roman numerals.
Oh, sweet.
To be honest, this one when I was getting the side of my head done, I just saw this on his wall and I was like, I just want that. But yeah, so I'm half Māori, so my whole leg and my arms all Māori stuff, and all the rest is just if I see something I want and I get it. I really I wish I could walk through a laser beam and get them all taken off, just so I could start afresh now. Because when I first started getting them, compared to tattoos now, it's just so much better.
Right. Yeah.
Until I want to go to Bali to get my whole back done soon. So maybe not this year with everything that I'm gonna have to pay for indoor, but maybe next year or something. So, yeah. So.
Your son, is he in Christchurch?
Nah, see that's a story. No. So he's in Australia still. I had a one night stand on Tinder. Didn't hear from her for 6 months until I get a random message saying, Richie, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping it, it's yours, blah blah blah. And I was like, I had plans to go back to England for cricket. And then all the boys at the club I was playing at, like, we know her from school, you got to be a dad, you got to step up. And I was like, all right. So I tried, and literally the first 3 years was hell. Like, we were two completely different people trying to live together, and yeah, we just butted heads so often. And it got to the point where, obviously, I'm in Australia by myself. I wasn't getting to see my son, and it mentally drives you insane. Like, you're there, all you want to do is see your son. You can't see your son because literally we have an argument over colour. Yeah, it's over nothing really. So I ended up moving back to New Zealand. Her family actually live in Tauranga. So she came back, everything was sweet, and we'd argue again over nothing. Then she went back there, then I'll go back there, and so now it's probably been it was a year without any contact until I got a message from her at Christmas time saying that they're moving back here, and I was like, look, I don't want to converse with you at all. When you're finally here, then let me know, and then we can try and sort something out. Otherwise, I don't want to hear from you. She's the only person that can make me go from the happiest to the angriest in literally a second. So when I'm not in contact with her, I'm mentally happy. Yeah. So I just don't. Yeah. So if they get here, then cool. I'll try and sort something out. But yeah, that's
tough. That's so hard.
Yeah.
And is it just the pure fact, like being in contact with her because you don't get to see your son?
So, it's a hard one to explain because everyone's like, Richie, you must have been doing something for her not to let you see your son. And I was like, literally, we will argue over nothing, and then I won't get to see him. And I can understand females not letting guys be a part of their kid's life if they're a drug addict or violent or whatever. And if that was the case with me, I'd understand that, but it's nothing like that at all. But yeah, only time will tell. I've always said to myself, like in the past, when he's 16, he can come looking for me. And that's not because I've run away or not wanting to see him. It's just the fact that I just don't want to be put in the situation. I just don't want to be around.
Yeah, I mean, if like it drags your mental health to be in contact with her, I mean, you're not going to be a great father when you're in that state anyway, are you? Yeah. That's tricky.
Yeah, and the hardest thing for me was seeing, like, my mum's always wanted me to have a kid since I was 14, just because she wants to be a grandma. So when she finally met him, and then stuff hit the fan, and then she ran back to Aussie with my son, like, my mum was heartbroken, and seeing her that upset made me like, I was like, it was hard. So
I can't imagine, like,
well, see, I could never imagine it either when I'd see all these things on the news about females doing the run with their kid or whatever, and I was like, I don't understand why the guy would act like that or the girl would do that. But now that I'm in that situation, I can understand how the guy was feeling at the time, and yeah. So.
Oof, that's tough. So just going back to like you being on like a new path, reborn Christian, is that like an active process? Like, are you still fighting demons from the past, or?
Yes. Honestly, so when I was in Auckland, like I go to prayer nights on a Wednesday, I go to church on a Sunday. I kept to myself. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything, mate. Like, I literally lived a quiet, boring life. And I always blame the Maryvale boys. I'm like, since I've come here, they've corrupted me. They've made me fall away from it. I've been on the piss. I've been going clubbing, everything. I blame it on them, but I don't blame it on them. I was like, obviously, you come to a new place, you meet people. I want to go out and have fun with the boys and all that stuff, and I've had fun. But the last 2 months, I'm like, I can't wait for the season to end, so I can get away from them for 6 months and just focus on myself again and get back to doing the church stuff and all that. And I will. Like, there's a few guys at the club that I didn't even know went to church and were Christians, and I've been in contact with them, and so I'll start going back and doing that thing. It's for me anyway. Like, I know when I'm in church or when I'm around those sort of people, I know myself, I change a lot. For the better. And I'm not saying I was a menace when I'm out on the piss with the boys or anything, so I'm not. But yeah, drinking for me in the past has always been the one thing that has either got me in trouble with the police, got me in trouble in general, or anything bad that's ever happened has been when I've been drinking.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the case with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's hard when it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But like, it's like anything, like balance in your life. Like, I'm not a huge drinker. Like, I'd fucking love to be able to go out every weekend and still live a functional life. But if I went out on the piss, it would just affect my life in such a negative light. Yeah. But like going out 4 or 5 times a year to celebrate different things, it makes the experience so much better, so much more enjoyable. And you can actually deal with the hangovers.
Oh, mate. Now, how old are you?
32.
Are you? I think you're younger than that, actually. Yeah, well, as being 37, like if I had a massive Hamner, for example, just gone, mate, we had a massive night on the Friday. I was done. Like, I couldn't even go again on the Saturday. And my hangovers, just takes a lot to get over a hangover these days. But, yeah.
Did you run into any of our boys in Hamner?
No, were you not there?
No, I was meant to be going on the Friday. I was only going to go for one night because one night and I'd be fucked. But no, I had to stay late and work Friday, so I didn't end up making it.
No, see, I think I've spent the whole time in the Airbnb. So a few of the boys said they went to get stuff at the road and saw some of your boys there. But the Friday night, it was just a massive night on the Friday. And then obviously on the Saturday, we were meant to go have breakfast. Never happened. Meant to go play golf. Everyone else went. I didn't. I stayed. And then that night we had our chord session, and I think most people just rubbing themselves on the Friday because a few people on the Saturday were not that good. But it was still fun. Like, that's the first time I've been to Hamner, and the place we stayed in was this like massive mansion, and so it was nice. Good.
Yeah, that's man. Yeah, it's so hard to keep up with the young boys because they don't get hungover, so they can wake up and just start drinking
and just keep going.
And it's like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
What else do you do outside of cricket?
Nothing, to be honest. Like I feel like I'm living like a robot. All I do is just go to work, come home, sleep. Same thing. But obviously with indoor and all that sort of thing, I used to be fully into the gym. I go to the gym 6 times a week, but I'm just too lazy. Too lazy now to even go. I know if it'll only just take me one time going straight back into the gym, and I'll get the feel for it again. It'll just make me keep going and going and going. But it's just that first initial time. It's
like any good habit. It's just making it a habit rather than anything. But I mean, it is tough when you're working and got other things going on as well.
And my job, I'm so over it. So I install insulation.
Yeah.
Being up in the ceiling's fine, but being underneath a house all day, crawling through cat shit, dead rats, dead possums, putting insulation up, all of it falling in your eyes, it's not fun.
How long have you done that for?
Probably about 10 years now.
Yeah.
I only do it because the money that I make doing that, if I went and done something I enjoy doing, I probably wouldn't even make half of what I do doing this.
Right.
So that's the only thing that keeps me going doing this job.
And what would you do if it wasn't for the money?
So I always wanted to be a policeman. That went out the door a long time ago. Then when I was in Aussie, I wanted to be a corrections officer, and I went through the first 2 stages of that, but then I fractured my hand, so I had to pull out. And then now, I don't know, like youth justice worker, that's sort of, I'm into like that. Trying to help, so I think I'd be good trying to help troubled youths, because I've been there, I've done all that, so I reckon that would be a cool job. And
I think it is important for like people to be in roles who have experience.
Exactly.
Like as you say, you've been in trouble. You've pulled yourself out. For you to pass that knowledge on to these other kids is so important. And it's ridiculous how many like youth offenders there are now. My ex-partner, her brother was 13 or something when I met her, And he's out doing ram raids and all this sort of shit because he knows he gets away with it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he's like, I either get away with it or the cops pick me up.
Yeah.
And then they just take me back home.
Exactly.
Or I go out to the boys' home for a couple months and that's like a holiday. Get to hang out with other boys doing the same thing.
Yeah. And it's bad these days. Like there's those ram raids just happening, like it's a daily thing.
Yeah.
I reckon it's a lot worse these days than it was back in my day growing up.
I'd never even bloody really heard of it till
it started happening.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So, have you ever looked into, or is it just you basically have to stay where you are to fund the indoor trips?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like, so everyone's asking me about an outdoor next year, and I said, to be honest, like I'm the type of person that gets bored easily. I've always lived like a gypsy. So you see, the problem is that when I was in Aussie, I'd be in the Gold Coast and I'd organise something to do with my mate that weekend, and then he messaged me like, "Oh, sorry, man, I'm in Melbourne now." Like, I just get bored easily. But I know, well, being 37, I've got to stay in one spot and stop moving around. But Aussie is where I want to end up, and I'd probably be back there. But then I got my parents here, so they're both not that well, and I feel selfish if I went over there to live my life when they're here. And Aussie will always be there, my parents won't be, so that's why I'm still here, and I'll probably stay here.
Are they both in Christchurch?
Nah, so my dad's here, my mum's in Auckland.
Oh, yeah.
But my mum just had surgery during the cricket season, so he's up there looking after her, and I'm going back next week to see her because I feel guilty that I haven't been to see her yet since she's got out of hospital. Yeah, so
it's tricky, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I get bored of things very easily. Like, literally cricket and going to the gyms have been like the two constants in my life outside of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking hold down a job for more than 6 months because I get bored.
Exactly like me. 100% exactly like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm at the point in my life where I just want to fucking go out and try. I feel like I've always been bored of shit, but I've never done anything as well.
Yeah,
so I've just been like constantly fucking bored.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at the point where I'm just like gonna go start trying.
What do you do for work?
At the moment I'm doing landscaping.
Oh yeah.
But I've literally done fucking everything.
Same.
Like financial advising, like everything from like manual labour to I was like a development officer for mobile cricket for a while. And
I used to do landscaping, and when I first went to Aussie, so I was looking for garden maintenance jobs. Worst thing ever, because I'm petrified of spiders, scared of snakes. And I remember the first time we went there, we were doing this house, and me and this other guy were doing like just picking up like leftover bushes, and I knew straight away just looking at this bush, I'm like, I know that there's going to be spiders here. As soon as I pull up like one thing of like a fern, all these huntsmen like just scattered everywhere.
Jesus.
I was like, nah, I can't. This job ain't for me. I'm done. So I literally lasted probably 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would not be doing that job in Aussie.
No. And even like the insulation thing. So over in Aussie, it's different. They don't have any underfloor. You don't do underfloors there. And if that was the case, there's no way I'd go under a house over there. There'd be even the ants. Anything over there could bite you. And
That's wild that that's so close.
I know, and we get nothing over there, really, but there's everything over there. The only thing I'm scared of here is wetters, and if I see a wetter, I'm going straight, man. I won't ever go back near that house.
Who are you living with here in Christchurch?
So I came back to help my dad out. So I'm here with my dad and my brother.
Oh, nice.
I would happily find my own rental, but obviously with all the money, not just that. Mate, I was in Auckland living in a 1.5 bedroom apartment, paying $585 a week.
Jesus.
Yeah. And this is in Manukau City, which is not a very good suburb either. So I'd happily live by myself. I love living by myself, but with cricket and all the stuff I've got on this year, it's just, I don't think I'd make it to Sri Lanka if I was to live here by myself.
Nah, when is Sri Lanka?
That's in October. So it's still a while away. So I think we've got end of May is when we have these trials, and that's when the team gets, like a 12, I think a squad of 12 gets named. No, sorry, probably more. And we'll take 12 away, so there's a few boys this year who've just turned 35 that will probably definitely make that team, so it'll be interesting to see who actually makes it and who doesn't.
Is Jesse Ryder still playing?
Yeah, Jesse's still playing, but he's in the over 40s this year.
Oh, is he?
So he's in the over 40s, and Chris Harris is playing, he's in how old is he? 50? Over 50s. But yeah, so all the New Zealand teams that are going, so there's 35s, 40s, 45s, 50s, and 55s.
Sure.
All the teams are pretty stacked. Because obviously, when a World Cup's on, everyone comes out of the woodworks because they just want to play in a World Cup. So yeah, the teams are pretty decent.
How long's that whole trip going to be?
I think it's 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We go there for 3 weeks. I think we go there like 4 days before the actual tournament starts. It was meant to be in India, but the boys just came back from a tour in India and said, "There's no way you can have a World Cup here. The facility, apparently you go to the loo, and you're taking a bus, and then there's no windows and there's a storm outside, so everything's just coming in at you." So they said, "There's no way you can have a World Cup there." And then if Sri Lanka didn't get it, it was going to be in Texas.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
That would have been cool. Like, I've never been to America, and that would have been awesome. But
yeah, I've heard good things about Texas. Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to America, but
have you done much travel?
So I've only just been to England like 5 times, all over Aussie. I should have gone through Europe and stuff when I was already over in England, but never went. I wanted to go back to England this season for outdoor, but then I was like, okay, I go back for outdoor, and I miss indoor, or I play indoor and then go to England the year after. So I always wanted to go back for one more year in the UK.
Yeah.
Not like play a high standard, but just go back and do some travelling around where I've been and see everyone that I've seen over the years and just have like a fun social sort of trip next time.
Have you always had good experiences in England?
Mate, I'd still be there now if my visa didn't run out. I loved it over there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So I've been to Essex, Bath, Bristol, Dumfries in Scotland, which I'll never ever go back to play cricket in Scotland ever again. I think I played like 3 games all year because it just rained. And the only thing else to do was drink and eat rubbish. I think I came back like 25 kgs heavier just from all the alcohol and rubbish I'd been eating. But yeah, definitely want to go back again. You been?
Once.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest experience. I feel like if I was there 5 years earlier, it would have been great. But everyone was sort of mid-30s, just getting married, just having kids, and I was quite young, and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. And then I just played shit cricket. I was averaging 8 till the last game of the season, then scored a 50 and bumped my average to 10. It was fucking terrible. I just could not. I forgot how to bat.
Whereabouts did you go?
It was a place called Manchester Town.
Sounds like that in Manchester or?
No, it was like an hour north of London.
Oh, okay, right.
Somewhere around, I forget where it was, around like Cambridgeshire kind of. Yeah. But no, it was terrible. And then like halfway through the season we stopped training and it just got worse and worse.
I struggled my first year here. Like I went over and then I think I was 22 when I first went over. And I'm batting at 3 and there's this guy who looks like he's about 85 years old opening the bowling. And he probably bowls, how can I compare it to? Probably bowls like 110 kilometres an hour. Bowls like 13 overs on the trot. Goes for like 10 runs for 5 wickets. You just can't, on a green seamer, you just can't hit the bloke. And in your head, you're like, this guy is rubbish. I should be smashing, but you just couldn't even hit him.
Yeah.
But, no, that's good. Essex is probably the best standard I've played cricket-wise, I reckon. Like when I was there, so Frinton on Sea had Adam Milne as their overseas. Ben Folkes was in their team. Tom Wesley was in their team. They both played for England. Then Tom Mills, you know that is?
Yeah.
So he played for Mildenhall, I think, and then they had Doug Hondo, which was a Zimbabwean in there, and that standard was real good. I didn't face either of them, Milne or Mills, so I was happy when I was batting. But no, it's good.
Who was the quickest bowler you've ever faced?
Quickest bowler. Do you know who Andy Matheson is? Matthew's
for CD, yeah.
But he's actually originally from Hamilton, so ND boy. He was pretty quick, but erratic. He didn't even know where he was bowling it, so as a batsman, you don't know where it's going. Tiago Davis was James Curry. I don't know. These guys
names ring
bells. He's from CD. I'm trying to think of people in Australia who've played, but can't think of anyone. Even this year, like, who do you reckon is the quickest bowler in this comp?
Maybe Latham?
From Burnside?
If he's going well,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. I faced him, but see, I thought
no one really springs to mind.
Well, I don't think he's quick, but I hate left armers. So the guy from Nickel.
Oh, McNichol.
But he's skitty, so he comes onto the bat nicely. I thought, like, I had Lockie Harper. I hate facing him. He's just awkward. Yeah.
McNichol. Yeah, when he gets it right.
Yeah.
But no one's bowling huge amounts of gas.
Like Michael Ray facing him, he's not rapid, but he's just like the perfect line of length.
Yeah.
Curtis Millard, because he's tall and awkward with the bounce he gets.
Yeah, I think bounce always makes it feel a lot quicker.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I played Kyle Jameson once. I only faced him like 7 or 8 balls before he got me out, but I was just like, I'm not scoring a fucking run here. Yeah. It's just the bounce. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Like Henry Shipley, have you played?
Yeah.
So I played for counties, obviously, Hawk Cup Challenge, Canterbury Country, and Canterbury Country was stacked. He was alright. What's the guy's name? Duffy. Duffy? Jacob Duffy?
Yeah.
They're just awkward.
Yeah. Do you watch much cricket?
2020s I'll watch all the time. Even the big Super Smash and all that, I'll watch that. Only because like there's quite a few players and most of the teams that I know, so I like watching them play. Big Bash I'll watch. I won't watch Test cricket. I'll maybe watch the first session of a Test and that's me done. I can't watch anymore. I used to watch it all the time, but yeah, not so much these days. I haven't even been to a game at Hagley Park yet, so.
No, I've only been down there a couple of times. I just can't get fucking comfortable on the bank. So my body after like an hour is like, no.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Can't do this.
Yeah. You going around again next year?
Yeah. I'm gonna be a battler. I'll be playing club cricket as long as I can.
Yeah. You guys getting the same overseas players? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, it'd be nice if we did, but I can't imagine so. Yeah. I think they struggled with like work,
finding work
in between times.
Yeah.
And they had work for a bit, but it was shit work, and they hated it. And then they lost their jobs, and
okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
The work thing is always the hardest one. Like even when I was in contact with someone this year, they're like, Richie, we can do this for you, but work. Nah, I was like, well, I need something. Like, I can't go over with nothing. So I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's a tough side, eh?
Yeah.
What sort of jobs have you done over in England in the past?
So every club I've played at has just been bar work, just working behind the bar. So that's all been like fashion hand work pretty much. But then when I was in Essex, I was getting paid to play, so I wasn't working. But then I thought I was like David Beckham, so I get paid on the Saturday we'll go out and I'll be poor again by Sunday, so that didn't really work out too well. But yeah.
Any other stories you've got lined up or anything you want to share?
Mate, I've got that many stories. The boys were probably thinking, tell them all your stories, but I don't think your channel was...
No.
Oh, no.
Tell those stories.
No. I can't tell those stories. Because, I don't know who watches this, so...
About 10 people.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. It might be the odd chance that someone watched this and like, I've got heaps of stories. What happened, actually, no, what happened with that, so that day when I kicked the helmet, right? Everyone's like, what are you doing? It's like, mate, honestly, so I hate it when I get abused. Like, abuse me if I abuse you. I'm the most quietest person on the field. And when I got the letter from Canterbury Metro thing about what happened, and it's like, Richy from your captain said or something, said Richy abused our batsman the whole time he was out there. That's why he got a send off. And I'm like, mate, one, I was on the boundary the whole time, so there's no way I was abusing anyone. And two, I don't say boo to anyone on the field. So when I got given LBW, first off, I didn't think I was even out, so I was already angry. And then when I'm walking off, your kid was just going, and I was like, nah.
Oh, was the keeper going?
Keeper, not what your bowler or anyone said.
Oh.
Because what your bowler said, fuck off or whatever. I was like, yeah, sweet. And then as I'm walking past them, that's why I kicked the helmet.
Oh, I thought he was like an innocent bystander. I was like,
that's why I kicked the helmet because he was the one like, yeah, fuck off, you cunt. I was like, what? I was like, fuck off. Like, all right. So I walked up, saw his helmet. I was like, oh, fine, I'll boot your helmet off the field then. That's the only reason why I done it because of the keeper.
I didn't know that. I thought like Brucey might have said something.
Well, the bowler. Is that Bruce?
No, Brucey's the...
Oh, the other kid. Nah. Well, if he did, I didn't hear it from him. So the bowler said something, which is fine. And then as I'm walking on to the keeper, says something. That's why I turned around. And then he kept going. I was like, oh, well, your helmet's there. I'll just kick your helmet off.
That whole situation is so bizarre. Like, the fact that you didn't even get cited for doing... Like, that you didn't get bet... Like... And no one else is getting away with booting the helmet there. Like, no one else.
Well, apparently it's weird because after the game, they obviously spoke to Lingy about it all, and then Lingy came and was like, Richie, you're not getting anything, just no more. Like, next week, don't say nothing, whatever. I was like, man, I don't say anything anyway, but yeah, okay, cool. And then it was like 4 weeks later is when now I'm getting cited for it. Like, what's happened 4 weeks? So the week before we played you guys again, then that's when it got brought up. And I was like, so I was going to get suspended. But then I was like, well, in the thing, I was like reading it. I was like, okay, look, I agree to everything. Yeah, cool, I kicked the helmet, but I don't agree with what's being said because I wouldn't just kick someone's helmet or I wouldn't, whatever, for no reason. And then before we played you guys again, like, Richie, you probably gonna get a lot of abuse. And I was like, well, okay. But then when I walked out there, like, it was just joking around stuff. Like, so I don't care, it was fine. But yeah.
That's so funny. It's funny because you didn't get a ban, but then the two umpires, they got banned.
Did they?
Did you not hear about that?
Well, I know the second time we played it, did you see what happened in the second, when we played you guys on the 2-day? There was that, not a ruckus, but our coach and...
at the end of the day,
yeah. What happened with that? Like,
yeah, I don't know what the story was there,
No. So what happened with umpires?
Yeah, apparently the two umpires who were umpiring the day you kicked the helmet...
Yeah.
Because they didn't cite you, apparently they got banned. Yes.
So they got banned and I got
it was fucking bizarre, right? I was like, this is...
But I thought it's up to the umpires anyway. So if the umpires agree, okay, we're not going to... They gave me a warning, apparently. We gave them a warning. And I thought it's up to them anyway. Like, if they want to take it further, then they take it further. If they don't, then that's done.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be the case of like them not knowing you, them seeing you've got face tattoos.
Well, they think I'm going to come back.
Yeah, like being intimidated and being like, fucking,
no.
He's good.
Not at all, mate. I might look a certain way, but really I'm like the biggest soft teddy bear ever.
That's so funny. Yeah, I can't even remember who was umpiring that day.
Yeah, I don't really know any of the umpires here, to be honest.
No.
But that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, I see. I had no idea that the keeper said something. He was like, "Oh, my helmet's broken," and I keep going, "Fuck, we've got to get Maribel to fucking pay for his helmet." Our poor fucking overseas just had his helmet booted.
Yeah, no, for a reason, not because I just kicked the random helmet. It's because I knew he was abusing me, so I was like, "All right, I can't kick you, so I'll kick the helmet." That's why I kicked his helmet.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, I'm glad that's cleared up now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, no one else, like, any other time would get cited for that, but, like seeing the shit when I was in England, like, they get away with fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like, cunts fucking booting the stumps
and
hitting... I'm like, you're gone for at least 4 weeks if you do that. Yeah. It's just, completely different. Even, like, just abusing umpires over there and shit.
Yeah, see, even here, like, well, I used to be a mouthy. But only like if we're batting first and people are abusing me, then I'm like, all right then. Well, when you come out to bat, I'm gonna abuse you too. Otherwise, I won't say much. But it's hard to like get away with any sledging these days.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know. Wish I was a bowler because you could bowl a ball and say something to them and then walk back. But yeah, no. So when we win that second in that 2-day, because apparently your keeper to the other boys were like really lippy.
See, I didn't hear any of this.
Abusing people. So that's why in our changing room, like, all right. That's why we were trying to get him out for ages. And when he came out, that's why we're like, I don't think you're batting him, but we're like, when he gets out, he's going to get an earful. When he got out, I don't know if you saw, we were all, like, pretty much everyone just ran to the bowler, but around him, we were just abusing. I think I did say something actually that time. But no, it was, yeah. whatever his name is. Sorry, but you know.
Yeah, at the end of that day when Mario stormed over to, I don't know what happened there, but I think that was the day that there was one of your boys who was just blocking the shit out of it, doing a real good job, and he was getting an earful.
Now I know.
He was getting an absolute earful and not saying a word, handling it really well.
Yeah.
Until the last ball of the day where he ruined it.
What did he do again? He kicked the ball.
He kicked the ball or hit the ball away or something like that. And I was like, it done. I respected him just absorbing it to that point, and then he melted on the last ball. And I was like,
Yeah, that's what it was about. I don't really know what was said, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Apparently the Prem's comp here used to be way more heated.
Yeah.
And
well, see, even myself, like back in the day when I was playing Prems, like I like abuse, like not like personal abuse, but like if you're in each other's face or abusing each other, I like that. Well, if I was the bad, it fires me out to not get out and play better.
Yeah.
I know everyone's different. Some people don't like anything said to them, and then they crack the shits about it. But yeah, no, I like that sort of heated word exchange sometimes.
I've just never been I just can never get into it because I'm like, cricket's like so like not physical. Yeah. Like in rugby, if someone's coming out, let's go. Yeah. But like cricket, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah. No, I'm surprised. Like everywhere I've played, I've always copped abuse. Always until this year, like I got nothing. Even when I wore a pink helmet, mate. Like I've got a pink helmet.
Yeah.
And the boys have been trying to get me to bring it out all year. I was like, look, pink does not go well with blue. So when we play a 2-day, I'll wear the pink helmet. And they wanted me to wear it against you guys when I had the pink hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh nah, because I knew I'd probably get abused. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna wear it in this game. So I wore it against Sydenham. Got nothing. And then last game against East Shirley, I walked down. Everyone's just standing in the huddle, still like looking at me. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, here we go. But nah, they're just like, surely that's not yours. And I had to make excuses. Like, nah, our coach is playing today, so he took my helmet, and the pink one was the only one left, so I had to wear it. Really, it's mine, but
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going nearly now. Anything else you want to share, or?
Mate, as I said, like the amount of stories I have are not. No, like I can't.
You can say.
And when I watched Rory and that comment on here. I can't remember what they were saying. How I'm a special kid. I don't know what they were saying. But I was like, when I go on there next, I'm going to say some stories about you guys. But now that I'm here, I can't even think of anything, unfortunately.
I got a message from Mario. So Mario used to teach at Mulber Boys.
Yeah, okay.
So I've known Mario for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do you want to come on the podcast? He's like, well, I'm going to have to because fucking everyone just thinks that Mirabelle's just a bunch of fucking piss drinkers. And
well, it's true. It's true. I love Mario. Mario's a good dude. Be interesting next year if he hangs around or not. I think he should. I think he will. I wasn't. Yeah. I was going to stay, then I wasn't going to stay, but I think now, like 3 weeks ago when at prize giving, I said to myself, my pride just got too much, and I'm like, I can't play lower than Prems. Like I just can't see myself playing lower than Prems, and I wasn't going to. But then I feel like I owe it to the boys at the club as well. Like they've been good to me, they've helped me out, and I'm like, look, if I can go to champs and play for them next year and score heaps of runs and get them back up into the Prems, then that's what I'll do. So
yeah, just go score 1,000 runs, average 70.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do what I can. I'll stay at the club. Probably try and do more next year. Like this year, didn't train. I just stayed at home, and next year I'll try and get out there and help more. Their trainings and stuff as well. So
what are the training facilities like? Is it just the nets there?
Nah, so we have open wickets.
Oh yeah.
This is half the reason why I don't go to training. Like it's just a personal thing for me. So you got like a lot of players come to trainings, but then you got guys who play like fourth grade or whatever coming in and bowling on wickets that turn like you're playing in India, and I can't hit anything. And I go to play a shot, play a rubber shot, and then all I want to do is just try and smash sixes every ball, and then it just throws me out of whack. And I go out on a Saturday, and I'm from ball one, I'm just playing across the line, and I'm like, this is because of the way I'm training. So I think the last 4 weeks before the season, I just went and bought his tennis balls, got a tee, and I was just hitting balls for like an hour. And I noticed straight away in my own game, I was like, okay, this is like, I think started doing that the second day against you guys. and everything was just coming out nicely. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do from now on. Just do this. But I think they need to get proper training facilities. Like the nets, obviously we've got a roll out artificial thing, which isn't that good. And I didn't realise, being in Canterbury, it's the first time I've ever seen clubs with grass training. Because like you guys got them in LA.
Yeah.
In Auckland, you won't see that at all. Or in like where I'm from, in Manukau, there's only 5 teams in the comp, but none of them have grass wickets. I think Maryvale just need to get a bit of training, like training wickets and things like that. Because as an overseas, like where I've played before, like I go to a club and if they got good training facilities, then I'm like, yeah, no, this is the club I want to play at. That's just my own preference.
Yeah. So you boys just train as a whole club? Like how many teams?
Oh, there's a lot, but so I think it's mainly the first, seconds, and thirds will train. So I've got 2 grass wickets that will put like a massive cage around. But it's just so hard to bat on. Like some balls will roll on the ground, some will pop around your head. Someone will bowl this far outside off. You got to leave it or turn back past leg, and it's like
that's like Arnett say like 6. You're lucky if they're good 50% of the time. When it's a good, like they're not dangerous.
Yeah, I like the artificial nets. Like even if they had something like that, like as a batsman, I liked it during the season when it rained because then we'll go train indoors, and then as a batsman, like no matter who's bowling to you, they could be a 3rd grade, 4th grade. At least the ball's gonna come onto the bat and you can hit the ball.
Yeah.
Whereas on a grass wicket, and you're facing that, it's just
like a lot of the times I come out of the nets and like I'm so much less confident and feel so much worse.
Yeah. Well, as a batsman, it's confidence. Like if you're hitting balls nicely at training, you're gonna go out on a Saturday and be confident. Whereas you go out there and you can't be bat like Chris Martin in the nets, you ain't gonna be confident going to bat on a Saturday.
No.
But yeah. So.
Do you have a particular mindset when you bat? Like obviously you're quite aggressive.
I just love facing spin, mate. Like I'm always aggressive against spin. Early on, a bit. So I didn't notice this myself. So my dad's always been my coach growing up, and he's coached rep teams and all that stuff. And I think when I played, so we played St Albans, got bowled. The week after we played Lancaster Park, got caught behind, and then I think there was 3 games in a row where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I showed my dad like the highlights, and he's like, straight away could tell what I was doing wrong. And I was like, what? And literally was not moving my feet. Like I was just taking a step and then just whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Then after that, just hitting balls and stuff. But early on, big thing. I just don't move my feet early on. But yeah, when it comes to spin, I'm just, if it's up there, I'm just going.
It's gotta go. Yeah, I'm the same.
Well, until like they drop a fielder back, and then once they do that, then it'll just be singles.
Gee, I can't fucking hit singles. I'm like, fuck, they've dropped me out. I'm like, I just have to go over top.
They had 100 who scored against us. Fucking hell, no matter where anyone bowled that ball, it was just going. It was good to watch. I didn't want you to get out, to be honest. I just wanted to keep watching you hit balls.
It's nice, like when you even when you play like Bevan John Jacobs and stuff like that. It's just you're like, fuck, we're getting pumped, but it's nice to watch.
Well, see, I've heard I think we played him. Well, we played him once and he got 2 or something against us. So half of me was like, I'm glad we got him out, but then another half of me was like, okay, I've heard about him. I just want to see him like pump a quick 50 and then get him out.
Yeah.
And most of the guys like I've heard that are guns. I didn't play against Heathcote, so I didn't see Tyler Lawton bat.
Really?
No. Well, I did, but he didn't. I think he only got like 25 or something that day. Michael Davison, he got 100 against us. Should have been out on about 10, but smoked one to the keeper. Not out. Ken, obviously, I haven't seen him. I've seen him on TV, but I haven't seen him in person. But I think this comp, like, probably standard-wise is really strong. Like, the batting, like, there's guys in every team that are, like, the top 5 in every team, like, can bat. Whereas you go to other places, like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 can bat and you get through them and the rest are out. But even the top 7 in most teams can bat. So, yeah.
Be interesting to see what they do with it next year.
What's that? The comp? Or?
Yeah, I think there was talk of them taking it to 10 teams at one point. I take
well, that would be good, but I think, isn't that only because if Frickerton didn't make it, then they're going to make it 10 comp? Now that they've made it, now they'll just keep it the way it is. What do you reckon?
That is the chat. I think 10 would be too much.
You reckon?
Probably, because, I mean, when they've cut the fucking T20s down to 3 games...
Yeah.
For a start, that's a fucking piss take.
Yeah.
You have to play every team once at least.
Yeah, yeah. So how did that work? Because obviously I wasn't here for that. So do you have like 2 groups of 5 or something?
Oh, the T20s?
Yeah,
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just 2 groups.
Yeah.
Played 3 games.
Yeah.
And then it was straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was... I think we lost 1 game off the last ball. We tied another game and lost the other one. And that was us done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the previous season, I think it was 8 games.
You played everyone once.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
So cool.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Because, I mean, T20's so much fun to play.
Yep.
Best format to play.
Yeah. Well, for you anyway. You boom it from ball 1.
Like, I'd love to play like 5-day cricket and just be able to bat time, but that's just never going to happen in club cricket.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But no, I fucking just struggle with the red ball.
See, I don't know what it is mentally or what, but I just like batting against a white ball. I don't know if it pings off the bat better or...
It looks bigger,
yeah,
it feels hard, it feels like it goes further.
Yeah.
So much nicer, right?
Yeah.
Has anything changed in the cricket? Like, are there different formats now or anything?
Nothing.
All pretty standard.
Nothing. So I reckon they should change the rules a bit, like make it more like outdoors. So if you bowl no ball, it should be a free hit. But nothing's really changed. But the only thing that's changed is from being an 8 ball overs to 6 ball overs. So that's what it is now.
Right.
Which makes it better because in the past, where if it's 8 ball overs, as a batting side, if you're getting out a lot, you have more time to get a good score again. Whereas 6 ball overs, it's more pressure and the game's done quicker and it's more it's better now.
Yeah, so I haven't played. So when I was playing, what was it? 8-a-side, 16 overs, bat in pairs, 4 overs a pair, -5 if you get out.
Yep. Still the same.
Yeah, still the same.
You need to come out. You need to come back and play this year. I think we're a bit short at how's that. So if you're going to come play, we've got Mitch Gardner, Tom Agnew, all that in our team.
I would be kind of keen to give it one more nudge.
Mate, we need players, so you're more than welcome to come and play with us. So I think the tournament, not the tournament, the season starts in 3 weeks. I think our first... So we play 3 games, and it's in Dunedin. The first, season kick-off, and I think we're struggling for players. So.
Oh. Wait, so the season... Wait, who's that playing for? Canterbury?
No, this is for how's that? So the Canterbury thing is only a tournament.
Right.
Against, obviously, CD, Wellington, all that, and that's in Christchurch this year. So, obviously, your Super League stuff... In Christchurch, it's a lot different. So in Auckland, you play Super League every Saturday. Whereas here, there's not that many teams, so it's once a month here. But then you can, if you want to play the Friday night stuff, then your name... Well, I'm playing for the North Canterbury Rams, but the other boys put their name into a pool, and that chooses who they play for on the Fridays or something. But yeah, so I think our team... I don't even know if we've got a team to go to Dunedin yet. So I'm gonna when I want to finish here, I'm gonna message Mitch and be like, Mitch, get hold of him, and he said he could be keen. So yeah. But yeah, if you're keen, then come along, come play.
God. In my mind, I was like, yeah, that sounds good. In reality, I'm like,
well, I think because we're short, I think the boys are trying to get Bevan Jacobs to come play for us, but apparently I don't think he's allowed to play indoor. Canterbury cricket or something said not allowed. Like, that's the same with the field. Then like Ewald, this guy Ewald who played for ND this year, young fella. I think he got told he can't play indoor. And even when I was growing up playing indoor, a few of the boys that were playing first class were like, nah, not allowed to. I can kind of understand that if you're a fast bowler, you don't want them to wreck their back or ruin them, whatever. But as a batsman, like,
I think that's where I struggle with like all that sort of shit that they have, like bowling loads and things like that. Like, I feel like as a player, you need to be responsible for your own body management. Sure, there could be guidelines that typically if you go over these, you start to get in trouble. But like at the end of the day, like no one knows that player's body better than them, or no one should know their body better than them.
100%.
And like it's a personal thing. Like if you want to go play that, and risk getting injured and missing the season, that's your choice,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you've got to leave some kind of decision making to the player. I would have thought like.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the chance? Like, as a batsman, or I can see how bowlers do get injured if they've already got problems.
The bowlers get injured regardless, and they're obviously on bowling loads and then go and get injured anyway. So why not just fucking trust them to learn their own body, understand it, and manage it themselves?
Yeah, 100%.
I couldn't think anything worse as a player being like, being told you can only do this amount. I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it does work out better for them long term. Who knows?
But as you said, like, if you feel good and you know you ain't got no issues, why can't I play? Like, if I was feeling like I'm gonna tear something, I wouldn't play anyway. So I don't know. No idea.
Interesting one.
Yep.
Yeah. Alrighty, should we call it there?
That's fine, mate. All good. Thanks for having me.
No, bloody good.